Hello everyone, Shroomraver here, and today I'm really excited to be bringing you my Week 10 battle from Season 2, Division 1 of the Pokemon Premier League. Yes indeed. Now today, as you may know, we are going up against RTK and the Portland Timburrs. Our closest rival in terms of points, both of us currently sitting at 7-2 on the table. I'm still at the top of the table just, but RTK is right behind us in second. So this battle is incredibly crucial in the race for the top spot of the league. Now, if you want to see an in-depth view of my team, as ever, a link will be in the description to the team builder analysis. So if you want to see a really in-depth view of the spreads and the movesets that I've been bringing, and the reasons why my thought process going into this battle, head down to the description, check out the team building analysis, and you'll be able to see all those thoughts and ideas in great detail. But just to go over the sets really briefly, we have physically defensive Calm-Minding Mega-Audino, specially defensive Shuckerberry and Polion, Scarf Tyrantrum, Colbur Berry on the Victini, which is mostly physically offensive. We've got a Sashed Thundurus and a physically defensive Cobra Berry Chestnut. Now, my opponent, RTK, team he is bringing, as you can see from left to right, we have Excadrill, Sylveon, Conkeldurr, Latios, Goodra, and the Lantern. Few things to pick up on there. I was not surprised to see no Hitmontop. What I was surprised to see was no Milotic. That was interesting. I didn't envy going up against the Milotic. It also means that Bolt Strike on Victini is pretty much a useless wasted move slot, which is unfortunate, but you know, better to be safe than sorry when it comes to carrying these moves for specific threats. Other than that, you know, I expected to see any of the 6 on the field. Excadrill is going to be tough to try and take on. Conkeldurr is something I never fancy going up against. Going to be interesting to see what kind of Latios and Lantern he is bringing. Lantern can run a whole variety of sets against my team. You're looking at sort of Calm Mind, Bulky, Potential, Agility, Life Orb, which could put in a nice shift against the mons that I've brought once my specially defensive mons have gone down. So, I really need to be scouting out that Lantern and Latios as soon as possible. A Para on the latter would be nice. And in an ideal world, I'd want to try and set up Audino, because Audino can really put the hurt on his mons, especially once Lantern has taken some damage. So that was kind of a game plan. Once those first 2 mons have gone down as well, Excadrill and the Sylveon, Tyrantrum can put in work as long as the Latios isn't scarfed, which is another reason why I really want a Para on it. So, yeah, that's pretty much the game plan there. This is going to be a really, really tough battle, but it's an absolute necessary win here. We can't afford to lose this game. We just can't. So, with that all being said, and without further ado, let's get right into the battle and see exactly how things played out. Okay, here we go against RTK. I'm going to be leading with my Mega-Audino. Just try and get my Mega off as early as possible. He's actually going to lead with the Lantern. Now, he switches straight on out, which kind of implies he might not have the Toxic. He might be an offensive set, and he goes into his Excadrill straight off the bat as I get my Mega off. And what I'm going to do first turn is throw up a Wish, because I didn't really fear his Lantern too much, and it would just mean that I'd get a nice Wish on switching to anything he would go for second turn. So that's exactly what I do. I throw up the Wish, and we're looking in a nice position very early on. So here, I'm just going to switch out, and I'm going to go into my designated answer to this, which is Chestnut. But RTK sees that coming. He makes the nice play of going for Aerial Ace first turn, but that does pop my Cobra Berry, and that does absolutely nothing, and I get the Wish back to full anyway. That damage would imply that this is in fact a Scarfed Excadrill. So here, he'll know he can't take me out with another one, given that damage, and he's going to go into his Goodra. Now, I could have gone for a Layer of Spikes, but I just go for the safe Drain Punch, just to try and get damage on Excadrill if he stayed in. And this does not do a lot, so I'm thinking this is physically defensive. Now here, he overpredicts. He goes for the Earthquake on my predicted switch into the Empoleon, and that means I can get up my first Layer of Spikes, which is fantastic. I don't see Rapid Spin on Excadrill, so that's good. Here I go for the Spiky Shield. I just want to scout to see exactly what he's going to go for. this turn, and he goes for Sludge Wave, just in case I do stay in. Good play by him, but I managed to scout it out. So here, I'm going to go into my Empoleon this time, in case he wants to go for that move again, but he goes for the Earthquake. Nice play on his part, but that does pop my second berry, which is of course the Sugar Berry, and this does not do a lot to Empoleon at all, which is grand. So here, he's going to go for Earthquake once again, but I know I can take one. You know, this is clearly a mixed attacker of some description, and I can get a Toxic off on this thing, which is lovely. He's looking to be that set I thought he was, which is Physically Defensive Assault Vest, so now I can wear him down with Toxic and chip damage where I can. Now once again here, I'm going to make a ballsy play and stay in as he goes for Sludge Wave, predicting my Chestnut, and I go for the Ice Beam, which is grand for chip damage. That's going to be really useful. It does some nice damage. He's looking, as I say, to be that Assault Vest set, and he takes more Toxic chip damage as well. Now here, I make a ballsy play. I'm pretty sure the one thing he's not going for is Stab. So I go into a middle ground, which is my Tyrantrum, knowing that if he goes for Earthquake, I can take one. And that's what he chooses to do. He goes for the Earthquake. It does a decent amount of damage to my Tyrantrum, but it's not a 2-hit KO, and he takes more Toxic damage. Now here, I can just revenge him. I choose to lock in on Earthquake, because I don't want to give him a free switch into the Sylveon, and I don't want to risk missing the Head Smash. So I go for the Earthquake, and that is going to take out the Goodras. That's a first KO for us. But of course what he can do now is bring an Excadrill. He is Scarfed. He's going to be able to take us out with either an Earthquake or an Iron Head, whichever one he chooses to go for. But I'm pretty sure he's going to go for one of them this time. So this time I go into Empoleon just to try and scout out, use it as fodder, but he goes for the Iron Heads, which is absolutely grand because I can live those even at the range of health I'm at, and he can't take me out from there. He has to switch out, and he chooses to go into Throbbing. That's his Conkeldurr. Now I do go for Scald. I am aware that Guts Conkeldurr is very much a thing, but I just have to go for Scald to try and take out the extra if he stays in. And I go for it, it gets nice damage, and I do get the burn, which is kind of unfortunate, but what are you going to do? Sometimes status is the best way. Now here, he goes for the Mach Punch. I stay in because he can't risk the Drain Punch, because I do outspeed and he won't get much health back. So he goes for the Mach Punch, he uses that option to take me out, but what that means is that he doesn't get amount of health back with Drain Punch, and he's at a very revengeable range. So I'm going to go into my Mega-Audino, knowing I can take a Poison Jab, but he withdraws, kind of showing he might not have that Poison Jab, and he goes into his Excadrill once again. Takes a little bit of Spikes damage, as my Audino is just, I think I just go for a Wish here. And that's exactly what I do. Throw up the Wish, and Audino can use that to heal up the team any switch I have. Now here, he overpredicts, he goes for the Aerial Ace. I stay in knowing I can take an Iron Head, and I go for the Hidden Power Ground instead. And that does a nice amount of damage to this Excadrill. With a roll, it might be a 2-hit KO. But I get the Wish back, and he can't stay in because he's Scarfed. So what he has to do is switch out into Icaros, his Sylveon. In it comes, and I get up my first Calm Mind here. As he takes Spikes damage, I set up my Calm Mind, which is absolutely grand. If this thing is Specs, this is now going to be a problem for him to try and deal with. So I'm sitting at +1 with Calm Mind. He is going to go for the Hyper Voice. So in it comes. How much damage does it do? Not enough to 2-hit KO. He can't break me. He's clearly Specs from that damage, but Audino is too good defensively, and I set up a Wish. So he's going to go for the second Hyper Voice, looking to try and get more damage, but I go for my second Calm Mind. I live on 40 HP, and now we're looking in a really nice position. Mega-Audino is at +2/+2 on the special side. I get my Wish back to a really nice amount of health, and we're looking fantastic. Now here, he knows the second Wish is incoming. He's going to take this opportunity to go into his Excadrill once again. He takes the Spikes damage, as indeed I do set up a Wish. However, as that Wish comes in, I'm at an amount of health where I can take a Scarfed Iron Head. I can go for the Hidden Power Ground, I can take out this Excadrill, and I will sweep his team. So here it comes, and he crits me. I can only imagine the sigh of relief he breathed. I lost my shit, because I'm like, I might have just lost my title shot to a crit. So I think, you know what, bugger it all, let's nuke something. I bring in Victini, he's locked into Iron Head, I can just hit something with a V-Crate. And he chooses to sack off his Conkeldurr. This is huge, because as the V-Crate comes in and lands, what this means is that his opportunity to Mach Punch my Scarf Tyrantrum is now gone. Absolutely gone, and there's nothing he can do about it. So down goes the Conkeldurr, and after that little bit of unfortunateness with the crit Iron Head, I'm back into a decent position. So now in comes his Lantern. I don't want to be taking any kind of offensive water-type move from this thing. It will take me out. So instead, I'm going to go into my Thundurus. And he intends to go for the Volt Switch here, which is a nice play on his part. He breaks my Sash, which is very useful for him. He may well not have known I had it, but it breaks it. And he brings in his Latios. Now here, instant thought, Thunder Wave it. If I have to sack off my Thundurus, I will, to make sure this thing cannot outspeed my my Scarf Tyrantrum. He chooses to go for the Psyshock here. Now that is definitely going to take out my Thundurus. Down I go, which is unfortunate, but it's done its job, and he shows himself to be Life Orb, which is fine, you know. What it means is that I can bring in my Tyrantrum. Now I will take this thing out with a Dragon Claw from here. He's paralysed, he knows this, so he is going to get the hell on out of dodge and go into his Sylveon to try and take that Dragon Claw and get his free switch. But I'm not taking that risk. I know that a Head Smash would have taken out the Latios from there if he's not invested in HP, so I go for the Head Smash, catch the Sylveon on switch, and down it goes. And now, crucially, he doesn't have a switch into Dragon Claw anymore. So in comes that ever-present threat that is the stupid mole thing, the Excadrill. I can't stay in. This Tyrantrum has become a massive win condition for me. So what I'm going to do here is switch into my Chestnut. Now, he can't take the risk of aerial acing here. He has to take out my Tyrantrum. It's too much of a threat. He goes for the Earthquake, and that is doing really, really not a lot of damage to my Chestnut at all. So what he's going to do is pull the switch of his own. He's going to go into his Latios once again as I get out my second layer of spikes, which is going to be really crucial. I saw the switch coming, knew I couldn't damage it, so I went for the spikes. Now here, I know that something has to take a hit for me to get a free switch, and unfortunately that is going to be Victini. It's the least useful of the 3 mons I have left at this point. So he's just going to drop a Draco right on my head, and that is going to sting like a little bitch. It's going to completely one-shot Victini from there. Absolutely no chance of living that. I believe I was a naive nature, so minus special defense anyway. So he takes a little bit more Life Orb recall, but now we're getting to the end game. It's 2 versus 3, but I still have this Scarf Tyrantrum left waiting in the wings, which is going to be crucial. So he's going to pull the switch and go into his least useful thing left, which is his Lantern. And now we're going to see exactly if I can 2-hit KO this from this range. I lock into Dragon Claw, we hit the Lantern, and that easily 2 shots from that range. He can't outspeed me, even if he's Scarfed, so I am able to take out the Lantern from there with Dragon Claw. So now it's 2v2. In comes the Excadrill. I need this Tyrantrum, but I know he can't lock himself in on Aerial Ace, because it won't take out Tyrantrum. And he can't really lock himself into Earthquake or Rock Slide, so I see the Iron Head as his option, but nay, the Chestnut can take those hits. Now he actually ends up locking in on Earthquake, which is fantastic for me. It actually lands a crit here, I believe. No, I think that might be the next turn. Either way, it's not coming close to taking out Chestnut. This is where he lands the crit, which is fine. He can't switch out, of course, because of spikes. I go for Drain Punch, and that is going to take out the Excadrill, which is fantastic for me. Down goes Excadrill, and now all he has left is the Latios, which very crucially is paralysed. So in comes the Latios. I'm going to go for Wood Hammer just for some chip damage on this thing. And it does, you know, a semi-decent amount. I take Recall. He's obviously going to take me out here with the Psyshock. But that's fine, you know. Nay has done a very good job this game. Down it goes to the Psyshock. That's absolutely fine. No Tailwinding shenanigans for him, which means I am absolutely safe to bring in my last remaining Mon, my saved Scarfer, my win condition Tyrantrum. I can safely go for the Dragon Claw here, and even if he has HP investment, that is going to take it out. So, down goes the Latios, a 4th KO for Tyrantrum, and that is going to be the game. So, absolutely fantastic game there, RTK. Thank you so much for an amazing battle. And we take the 1-0 win, which is just huge for us. This was a battle I was always scared of. You know, I've never played RTK before. He came into the league last season after the final battle of the person he took over from, which was the battle that I played against that person, which was Nick, Mighty Mamoswine. So he took over Mighty Mamoswine's team just after I had the opportunity to take him on. So this was the first time I've ever faced him. And I know he's a fantastic player, and clearly from that battle he played a fantastic game. He brought some really good mons. but we just managed to take him out, which was fantastic. Able to save that last minute win condition in Scarf Tyrantrum until the very end. It was hairy at moments, you know. I thought that when Audino went down, we were going to be in a massive pickle. And I was kind of salty at the point when he got the crit. If this had been a live recording, you would have seen salt overflowing. But managed to get ourselves back into the game and just about take the 1-0 victory. So, that's an absolutely brilliant result, and it puts us still on track to try and take the title this season. Parasect Germain are now sitting at 8-2. This is also nice on a personal level because it means we've outperformed last season where we ended on 7-4, which is grand, and we're hoping to get a strong finish to the season. We are at the top of the table. We're 8-2. We're looking in a very good position. However, next game is going to be tough because next game we face off against our old rival Shardy and Bayern Munich. Now, he hasn't played his Week 10 game just yet, so I don't know exactly what position on the table he will be, but there is a chance that he is still going to be in the running for that top spot. So we can't take anything for granted at this point. We may be in a good position, but it's not over yet by any stretch of the imagination. However, we've managed to put ourselves in the best position possible with the win this week. So, that is going to pretty much wrap things up today. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope that you've enjoyed. Be sure to head on down to the description where you will find links to the PPL Twitter and YouTube, you know, to keep up to date with all things PPL, transfer news, everything going on in Division 2 that you might need to know details of. Head down there, check out those links, you'll be able to find all the information you need. Of course, also down in the description, and I forgot to mention this in the team builder, will be links, of course, to RTK's channel and Twitter. Make sure you head over there. He's got some fantastic content. He is a brilliant battler. You'll be able to see his side of this battle, his team builder for this battle as well as the rest of his fantastic content, all his other PPL battles. He's an excellent player, so make sure you check him out. You'll be doing yourself a favour and you will not be disappointed, so make sure you do that as well. But yeah, as I say, that's going to wrap things up today. We're at the top of the table, but we can't end now. The season is very much not over. There's one more game, and I can absolutely promise you, you do not want to miss it, because it is going to be an absolute barnstormer. It's going to be fantastic. It's against Shardy. It's guaranteed to be good, so don't miss out on that. But that's a story for another time. That will be next week's game. Stick around for that, but for me, I'm going to get on out of here. So my final thank you to you all for watching. Keep supporting Parasect Germain, guys. We are going for the top. But that's going to be it. My final thank you, once again, to you for watching. And I guess with that, I'll see you next time. Laters.